Welcome to episode 49 of your CySA Plus Prepcast. Today's episode is a deep dive into two pivotal concepts in the cybersecurity analyst toolbox: indicators of compromise and threat hunting. These are more than just terms for your exam. They're operational realities that guide how analysts detect, trace, and prevent cybersecurity breaches. Understanding how to interpret and act on indicators of compromise helps you spot threats early, often before attackers can establish a stronghold. Meanwhile, threat hunting represents a proactive strategy, intentionally seeking signs of intrusion rather than waiting for alerts. Both concepts are not only covered in the CySA Plus exam objectives, but are foundational to real-world success as a security operations center analyst or incident responder. But let's begin by establishing what indicators of compromise actually are. An indicator of compromise is any observable artifact or piece of evidence that suggests a system may have been breached or compromised. These indicators can take many forms. For instance, a suspicious executable file found on a critical endpoint could point to malware. An unfamiliar process communicating with an external server might suggest unauthorized command and control activity. Even a minor anomaly, such as repeated failed login attempts from the same account, could signal a brute force attack in progress. By cataloging and recognizing these indicators, analysts lay the groundwork for quicker detection and response. Detection is the primary value of indicators of compromise. Analysts often rely on these signs to trigger investigations before extensive damage occurs. For example, a spike in outbound traffic to an obscure IP address may indicate data exfiltration. Similarly, changes to the Windows registry that alter security settings might signal a persistence mechanism installed by malware. By correlating these subtle cues in logs, behaviors, or configurations, analysts can flag abnormal activity before a full compromise materializes. The earlier the detection, the more contained the response effort tends to be. It's important to understand the types of indicators of compromise analysts encounter in real scenarios. Among the most common are IP addresses linked to botnet controllers, domain names associated with phishing campaigns, and file hashes tied to known malware families. More advanced IoCs might include suspicious user account creations, unauthorized changes to firewall rules, or anomalous registry key entries. These indicators are not isolated. They usually represent pieces of a larger chain of activity, giving analysts the ability to piece together timelines, tactics, and even attribution clues. To stay ahead of emerging threats, analysts depend on threat intelligence feeds for fresh, timely indicators of compromise. These feeds are curated by cybersecurity vendors, information sharing organizations, or community researchers. They push new indicators such as newly discovered malware hashes or phishing domains to security teams in near real time. Integrating these feeds into detection platforms gives analysts the advantage of early warnings, as known threats can be recognized by their fingerprints as soon as they touch the network or endpoint. This is where security information and event management systems become essential. SIM platforms integrate with external threat intelligence feeds and apply correlation rules against your internal logs. When a known malicious IP address from an IoC feed appears in your firewall logs, the SIM raises an alert. This automation enables analysts to sift through millions of log entries and zero in on the few that suggest actual malicious activity. SIM tools operationalize IoCs in real time, making them a cornerstone of detection and monitoring strategies. Endpoint detection and response platforms extend the usefulness of IoCs even further. These tools continuously monitor endpoints for behaviors or artifacts linked to compromise. For instance, if a file on a workstation matches the hash of a known ransomware payload, the EDR flags it immediately. The same goes for suspicious registry modifications, unauthorized software installations, or unusual process execution chains. Analysts gain the ability to zoom in on compromised endpoints and assess the full scope of an incident without needing to manually inspect each asset. Beyond detection, analysts also collect and document indicators of compromise during incident investigations. This process is vital for institutional learning and future defense. Each new incident offers an opportunity to expand your IoC library with internal findings, custom indicators unique to your environment, or attacker tactics. Sharing these internally allows detection tools to recognize similar threats if they reappear. This iterative improvement transforms incidents into knowledge assets. Managing indicators of compromise requires structure. Analysts often use formats like structured threat information e-expression, known as STIX, or trusted automated exchange of intelligence information, known as CySA. These formats standardize how indicators are described, shared, and integrated across platforms. With STIX and CySA, your organization can efficiently collect, update, and distribute IoCs, both internally and with trusted partners. This ensures consistency, facilitates automation, and allows interoperability between security tools and intelligence platforms. In daily operations, analysts rely on scanning tools and custom scripts to detect indicators across environments. Tools like Yara allow analysts to define specific rules that match known malicious file patterns. PowerShell scripts can be used to search for suspicious registry entries or audit logs for traces of unauthorized activity. These tools scale the detection of IoCs across hundreds or thousands of systems, reducing the time between compromise and containment. To ensure these indicators of compromise remain effective, analysts must continuously validate and refine them. Threat landscapes evolve quickly, and an outdated IoC could produce false positives or miss new variants. Therefore, analysts routinely review their indicator sets, remove irrelevant entries, and promote those with high detection value. This ongoing process helps maintain a high signal-to-noise ratio and ensures that alerts are both timely and actionable. For more cyber-related content and books, please check out cyberauthor.me. Also, there are more security courses on cybersecurity and more at baremetalcyber.com. Now let's shift our focus to threat hunting, defined as the proactive process of searching through networks, systems, and endpoints to detect stealthy, ongoing, or advanced threats that may not have been detected by automated security controls. The goal of threat hunting is not to wait for alerts, but to deliberately seek out signs of compromise. This process assumes that threats may already exist within the environment and must be uncovered through careful investigation. Threat hunting requires a combination of human expertise, analytical skills, and access to rich data sources. Threat hunting differs from traditional detection in several key ways. While traditional methods often rely on signatures or predefined rules to trigger alerts, threat hunting begins without a known indicator. Instead, analysts use their knowledge of attacker behavior, vulnerabilities, and tactics to identify weak signals or unusual trends that could point to malicious activity. By proactively digging into system logs, network data, and endpoint activity, hunters often uncover threats that evade standard intrusion detection and prevention mechanisms. A typical threat hunting engagement begins with a hypothesis. A hypothesis is a focused question or theory that guides the hunt, such as, what if an attacker is using a legitimate user account to perform lateral movement? Or what if a previously unknown backdoor was installed on a developer's workstation? These hypotheses are not based on alerts, but on suspicion, threat intelligence, or observed anomalies. Analysts validate or refute their hypotheses by investigating relevant logs, traffic, and host behaviors. To succeed in threat hunting, analysts must have a deep understanding of attacker tactics, techniques, and procedures, also known as TTP. These TTPs are categorized and documented in frameworks like the MITRE ATT&CK matrix, which helps hunters identify the methods attackers are likely to use in real environments. By aligning their hypotheses with these known attack paths, analysts increase their chances of uncovering subtle compromises. Understanding TTPs also enhances the analyst's ability to trace behaviors back to threat actors or campaigns. During the hunt, analysts use advanced tools and platforms to analyze massive data sets and correlate evidence. Security data lakes, SIM systems, and visual analytics platforms like Splunk, the ELK stack, and other purpose-built hunting tools allow analysts to filter, tag, and search for patterns across time and systems. These tools enable investigators to quickly test multiple hypotheses, explore pivot points, and drill down into user behaviors, file access histories, and communication patterns. Visualization capabilities also help surface relationships and anomalies that might otherwise go unnoticed. Endpoint detection and response platforms significantly strengthen threat hunting efforts by providing detailed historical and real-time data from endpoints. EDR tools reveal low-level events like process execution trees, registry modifications, file changes, and user logins. With this information, analysts can identify signs of persistence, privilege escalation, or covert data collection. EDR data helps pinpoint which systems were affected, how the attacker gained access, and what payloads may have been used, forming a complete picture of the compromise. Network traffic analysis also plays a central role in threat hunting. Analysts may examine NetFlow records, packet captures, or proxy logs to identify unusual patterns. These might include encrypted communication to obscure domains, lateral movement between VLANs, or abnormal volume from a workstation. Packet capture analysis tools such as Wireshark help investigators dive deep into specific sessions, analyzing protocol behavior and extracting payloads for further inspection. These tools are essential for detecting exfiltration, beaconing, or use of non-standard ports. The proactive nature of threat hunting means that many of the threats uncovered are ones that traditional defenses miss. Examples include advanced persistent threats, which remain undetected for extended periods, insider threats, which use legitimate credentials to avoid detection, and new variants of malware not yet cataloged in antivirus databases. By uncovering these types of threats early, threat hunting reduces dwell time, the length of time an attacker remains in the environment, and limits potential damage. Proper documentation during threat hunting is essential. Analysts must record what hypotheses were tested, what data was examined, what anomalies were found, and what conclusions were drawn. This documentation provides transparency, enables peer review, and supports follow-up actions like containment or remediation. It also creates a body of institutional knowledge that can inform future hunts, improve detection logic, and support root cause analysis in post-incident reviews. Continuous improvement is a hallmark of mature threat hunting programs. This includes formal training in hunting techniques, regular participation in simulated attack exercises, and staying current with evolving TTPs. Tabletop exercises, red team engagements, and adversary emulation platforms provide practical experience and stress test hunting capabilities. These exercises help analysts build muscle memory, refine their skills, and maintain readiness to detect novel threats in high-pressure scenarios. To summarize episode 49, Mastering Indicators of Compromise and Threat Hunting Techniques empowers cybersecurity analysts to rapidly detect incidents, proactively uncover hidden threats, and significantly enhance organizational security resilience. Understanding and applying these essential cybersecurity skills directly contributes to your CySA Plus exam readiness and positions you for success in real-world cybersecurity roles. Stay tuned as we continue your comprehensive journey towards CySA Plus certification. Success. Thanks for listening. To learn more about cybersecurity, please visit baremetalcyber.com. There you will find best-selling books, videos, and even more free cybersecurity training courses. Please subscribe to the Prepcast and our various podcasts. And thanks for listening.